This episode of the Council of the First Ones was recorded on September 5th, 2021.
Hello, and welcome to the Council of the First Ones, to our pre-PowerCon show. Joining me today, I have our usual. Hi, David. How are you doing?
Hey, Kelly. Hey, Sean. Just enjoying the weather here in Seattle and looking forward to road tripping it down to Paracon.
Yeah, you're covering it all for me. This will be the first time I'm not going to PowerCon.
Yeah, really sorry that you and Sean can't make it. I'm gonna be missing you, and
We might not be there physically, but we will still be there.
yeah, absolutely.
Also joining me is Sean. How are you doing, Sean?
Oh, I'm just kind of frowning a little bit right now because I know I'm not going to PowerCon, but yeah.
Oh,
I want to give David just a little guilt trip, but now otherwise I can't complain.
Over 80% of the panels are being streamed.
Yeah, and I'll be watching those. There's no problem, and it's like I was saying before we started getting into the show. We got so much stuff to cover right now that it's hard to be upset. I mean,
Oh, I
this is
know.
what it's like to be mainstream again. This is crazy.
Well, let's start first on the high, because many of us would not be here in the fandom if a certain event did not happen 38 years ago today. And that was the very first episode of He-Man being broadcast first in the United Kingdom, and then a little later on in September, on the 26th, it made its US debut. So we know we've had cartoons for 38 years. Can you believe that?
It's weird when you think to yourself the cartoon is almost as old as me, and you feel old already. At least from my perspective, because I feel young at heart. But when I think I'm going to be 43 this year, that's nuts. So, um, but yeah, like this,
I'm turning 49, so
I'm not doing that. I'm just from my perspective. But no, like to this day, I still remember. I had the toys. I love the toys, and then I remember there was a magazine that they showed. Here's what he's going to look like in the cartoon, and it
yeah.
was the shot of He-Man on top of Battle Cat. Like right after he jumps on Battle Cat, there's always that like pose he does. And I was like looking at that, going, "Huh." So that's what he's going to look like, and it got me more excited to watch the show. And yeah, I couldn't have gotten home from kindergarten fast enough that day.
Love the magazines, and I still have most of them because they came in the mail. It was like your good girl or good boy gift from Eternia arriving in the mail for you.
Oh.
But also, there was a sad thing that happened over the course last 2 weeks, and that is the passing of the model that played Skeletor. Let me just pull up his name. I forgot his name offhand. Matt, I know one of you found it for me, but I knew it was about our lovely little Skeletor. Here it is. Matt I'm going to butcher the name. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Matt Mandela. He was a,
Mendenhall.
thank you. I thought it was going to butcher. Teacher, and I butcher every single student's name. But he was a bodybuilder in the 1980s. He all did pose for Skeletor, with the retro scoping that Filmation is known for, where they actually have people come in, do certain poses, take the pictures, and then trace them. So he was the real life Skeletor. So
I was just going to say he was only 61. That's pretty
yeah,
sad.
Yeah, I noticed.
very young. So hopefully people will remember that there were other actors and actresses and bodybuilders that helped make our beloved Filmation come to life. But on that note, I think we also have other things we have on our list before we get into PowerCon content. I do want to go over one thing for those who are going there. First, the tickets for Saturday and weekend passes are already sold out. There is limited capacity. They are asking everyone to have face covering still. You do not need to bring your vaccination card. They're not asking for it because they're keeping it below the 5,000 people maximum. Because California, if you have more than 5,000, you have to show proof that you were vaccinated. They are going to, they're not even saying how many people they're letting in on the toy floor, the show floor at one time. But once it hits a certain number, you will be asked to wait until someone leaves. And then they'll let you in. So they are still trying to keep everyone safe. Also, I don't trying to go through. I know they weren't sure if they'd have the toys, their exclusives in, but if they do not have them in on time, you will be given an option of either having them shipped to you when they come in, or you can get a full refund. So I guess Mattel said they weren't sure if they were coming in. About a week to 2 weeks ago, an email was sent out and posted on PowerCon about these two issues. I want to make sure everyone's aware that these are going to be required. So
Yeah.
hope the toys will be in.
Yeah, hopefully. Otherwise, I know I'm gonna have to probably end up shipping them to myself anyway. So
Yeah. So those who are attending, they are strongly advising you pick up your tickets and your toys on Friday between 6 and 8. They're early attendee pickup. And anyone who's been there knows how crazy it gets. And it's not set up the same way as it was the last time. They did a little rearranging, so you will need to check the map.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because one of my friends who normally goes out there as a vendor even said they had redone it because he just missed the cutoff date for signing up to be a vendor.
I see.
But then we have our con starting on Saturday. I'm going to be listing down the programs that will be streamed, as links come available, we will put them on our Facebook page as well as on the Adult Collector pages. And I'm sure Legends of Grayskull will be posting them as well, Sean. Am I right?
Oh, I'm sure. If we always pass along any information we get about that sort of stuff as fast as we can. So yeah.
I'm figuring Matt's going out there this year, right?
Yeah,
Or
he's going to be out there, and I don't know how he's going to handle like doing broadcasting or whatever, but yeah. So one way or the other, we have David going for us, and Matt's going on the other side of the pond for me. Either way, it's like I'll have a live stream, quote unquote, from I'm sure both people throughout next weekend.
uh, starting at 10:30 Pacific time, so that would be 1:30 East Coast time, will be the Expanding Origins and the Masterverse. So we will be getting sneak peeks of the 2022 line, maybe figuring out what those two mystery figures are. And I think it was the next wave of Origins, or was that Masterverse? I
Oh,
think
the
it was
secret figures? That would be Masterverse.
Master. I knew one. I knew they said Barbarian, Skeletor, and all like that. I'm like, okay, what are these two mystery ones?
I can't wait. Yeah, it's gonna feature Ruben Martinez, Robert Redmond, their packaging guy Sam Pack, Roy Juarez. All the familiar names at Mattel who are behind the scenes making these wonderful toys for us.
Well, we go from action figures to Mega Constructs. It is not a deadline. I know a lot of people, when they saw Mega Struck saying their Heroes line is over, it didn't mean that the Motu products are over. The Heroes line were across many different franchises. I know I just got today my last wave of the Heroes from the Motu with Scareglow, comic book colored Triclops from Amazon. So they're slowly coming in, but at 11:30 a.m., 2:30 Pacific, we will be building Eternia. So we have some nice things coming. They're saying a sneak peek at 2022. I'm hoping we're getting a Snake Mountain.
Yeah, that's definitely the must, right? That's the expectation for this one.
The newest wave, which is up for pre-orders in their builds, is Hordak with Stridor? It's not Stridor. Oh boy, I'm having a lot of memory lapses. Too much going on this weekend. I know they have a Hordak build with a vehicle. We're also getting Landshark and a new skeleton, sort of blind box, I guess you would say it, but it's going to be with Slime Pit He-Man. So it's an evil wave coming up next.
Right, yeah. Yeah, looking at Big Bad Toy Store, that is Landshark. And let's see. These are not in order.
No,
Pro Builder, Hordak Strikes. Origins, Mega Constructs, Pro Builder.
They haven't released pictures of any of this, but there was a leaked photo of Slime Pit He-Man. So
Right.
I'm looking forward to that. and there's still the placeholder for the 1-to-1 scale of Skeletor's Havoc staff on Amazon. They're not doing the pre-orders in the US. You can order it from their Amazon UK, but who's going to pay $300?
Right.
And the shipping from the UK. Following that, as if we don't have enough on our plate, we have Masters of the Collector Universe. So this one is dealing more with Mattel Creations. And our friend Ruben Martinez is going to be hosting that one with Ethan Wood.
Yeah, that'll be a fun panel.
And figuring the fan choice is supposed to be on Mattel Creations, it's going to sell out fast.
Yeah, mini comic Triclops. I don't think they've given us. I was checking. I don't think they've given us the exact date and time that it's going to be on there.
I'd say that will be revealed during the panel.
Probably, yeah.
Then we go into our Mondo talk. So those who love those 1/6 scale figures that they've been giving us over the couple of years, they're going to be continuing that. And they are doing giveaways at the panel. Hopefully there'll be some way for those who are watching at home to participate.
That would be fun.
Yes. I mean, they did put out those puzzles too, which are beautiful. So I can't wait to see what else they're offering. All those panels will be streamed. The next panel is not. And that's Masters of the Mini Comics. Most likely, going from what happened in years past, they will be recording it. And later on in the year, they'll post it on their YouTube channel.
I see.
Of their post past panels and cosplay, that's what they do.
Well, I really don't want to miss that one.
Well, just stay in the panel room pretty much all day. You'll have a break between 1:20 and 2:30 to eat.
Oh, okay.
I'll plan on your day. But after that panel, the toy room is open for the public, but they'll need a few minutes because then they'll be going into the cosplay. And of course, Pixel Dan will be there. Some of the most fabulous designs and costumes always come out during our cosplay. And normally at the end, and I don't know if they're going to do this tradition, is when the cakes come out to honor something that's going on. And they've actually been doing that tradition since the Power Party days. Because I know today when I checked my Facebook, do you remember pictures was of Pixel Dan's 10th anniversary cake of doing 10 years of the Pixel Dan YouTube channel and Dean Stefan's farewell cake.
Oh, that's a fantastic way to celebrate that. Yeah.
Well, he wants to go out in style. I mean, he was such a loss for the community. But at 6:30, everything gets shut down, sort of.
Sort of.
Yes. because then we have our after-hour events. We have at 6:30, 9:30 East Coast time, but it's not being broadcast. Masters of the KO Universe. So, and this is something brand new. I have no clue on it.
Well, they're going to look into things like, those KO lines like Warrior Beasts, Spectratron, Defenders of the Planet.
Sunman, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, the rumors that Sunman might be coming to Mattel, that might even be during the day. But I'm sure they'd probably address it also here, because he had a fascinating history.
Mm-hmm.
Then at 7:30, Daniel Benedict takes over the main hall. He is a filmmaker and also create a character contest winner for Grayskull Man. And he will be having a bloody great time as he screens the Bloody Man film project that he's finally finished. And he's very particular when he's showing his films. I know there was a con in the tri-state area that I forget which, I think it was the Fall of Grayskull that they asked for him to show, and he couldn't make it up. He paid for my ticket and all like that for me to go and present his work
Oh,
because
wow.
he trusted me. He's very particular when he shows his work. I know he's put out many commercials lately for the Origins line that looked like they were set back in the 80s that we've all admired.
That looked incredibly professional. Mm-hmm.
So his work is fabulous.
Top
Then,
notch. Yeah.
if you're still awake, is the final after hours panel, or should I say trivia with prizes. Are you a master of the universe? Trust me, I have some memories of doing that at past events. Hopefully, people will win because it got very, very competitive.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Luckily, there's no bar inside the panel.
BYOB.
Yeah.
The old location, we literally just had to walk out of the program room. The bar was there, grab our drink, bring it back in.
Yeah, that's one.
I mean, that's why I think it was like 2 weeks ago I posted up. If you're going out there, find out what the drinks are. And I posted what
Yeah.
one of the drinks were because the Marriott where it was held went all out for us. And every year would have brand new drinks themed to different characters.
Right. I remember that.
And the hardest thing for them was to keep track of the menus because everyone kept stealing them to bring them home.
Uh-huh. I heard that, yeah.
Times, yeah. You had to be faster than the hostess, because they at the end wound up like standing there like, okay, read it and tell us what you want.
Mhm.
See, I would be an idiot and I'd order whatever the cool character is and then find out it's nothing that I wanted to drink, but I ordered a Battle Cat. I found your post and I'm like, okay, Battle Cat's Roar, Creeping Horak, Orko's Magic, Spinnerella's Twist, Whiplash's Revenge. Yeah, I mean it's like I just look at it. And go, I want the Battle Cat. Then I'd come back and probably get knocked on my butt after like one or two of those. But yeah,
I,
I'm such a lightweight.
that's why I always made sure I had a room at the hotel.
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
Then on Sunday at 10:30, and this is not being streamed. I know it's only marked as having Tiffany Smith and Griffin Newman going. Though Kevin Smith did post on his Twitter page he's heading out to PowerCon because he did finish filming Clerks 3, so he left New Jersey before Ida hit.
Yeah, he said that he would be attending the con after that was wrapped up. So
Which he literally got done filming right before Tropical Storm Ida pretty much did a job on New Jersey. So he got out of town quick. But the first panel, and no, I'm not doing a joke here. A lieutenant and a magician sat at a bar. Talk about starting a joke.
Mm-hmm. We just need a priest and a rabbi after that. Yeah.
well, I really hope that we get to watch a spoiler of these next 5 episodes.
Oh, no. Who knows what will be coming with Kevin Smith?
Yeah. And it'll be standing room only, I'm sure.
Who's going to be on the show floor? Everyone will be over there.
Mm-hmm.
At 11:30, we have Twitterhead. And they're going to be talking about all their different products that they've put out. They're like Mondo. They do 1/6 scale. They do bust. But unlike Mondo, you can either get it already finished or unfinished. And you could do the final touches. I know I have Adora's bust that I still haven't painted. I like it just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that they give you that option. And they are starting a new line called Legends. And more information about that will be coming out at that panel where they're going to be doing now, I guess life-size busts of the different characters too.
Wow.
Holy crap.
That'll be fun to see. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they did do a like a promo. They were going to do a Skeletor one, if I remember right. So I guess he's one of the first ones they're going to do in that line. But that was a while ago. I don't know.
Well, I know they have all different sizes. I know my Adora bust is only 8 inches high.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's all different price ranges based on how complete you want them to do it. Then at 12:30, again streaming, we're back live, is Passing the Sword to the Next Generation. As if we didn't get enough He-Man Netflix, you threw the teaser trailer up last week for us for the new CGI Masters of the Universe. And they will be there to go over the upcoming show.
Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to that one. If the panel features Rob David, awesome, and Jeff Matsuda, and the show is going to premiere on Netflix September 16, so very shortly after the PowerCon event. I kind of wish it would, premiere right before, but yeah, I'm hoping we'll get a good.
Enough Motu. Do you really want to go into Motu Overdrive? Wait. Yeah, I can OD on Motu.
Yep, can never get enough Motu.
Then finishing out the convention. Oh, sorry. There's two actually. Got confused because I'm looking at my notes where it said registration closes. But we have the Dark Horse and a new universe of comics. So I guess Dark Horse is going to be continuing giving us new Masters of the Universe stories. I know Wednesday is the third issue of the prequels.
That'll be pretty cool to find that out, though, because I mean, it is nice to get the prequel book, but knowing that's only 4 issues does make it. First off, a lot of people were scratching their head over why Dark Horse it was DC, and I kind of had my own idea of why that was the case. I don't know if I'm right or not, but it's kind of fun to go, hey, we might be getting more stuff, and what will that be? You know?
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering because I know Dark Horse does all the books. I'm
Yeah.
wondering if maybe the contract with DC ran out and Dark Horse swept in and took it.
I have a feeling like AT&T are the ones owning DC now, if I remember right.
Yeah, it's all part of Warner Brothers.
Yeah, so like they're the major head of that company, Warner Brothers, and all that's a part of it. And the way that they're treating stuff, especially from like the comics perspective, is they're trying to cut more and more out of that in order to do more with media, I think. And so it doesn't surprise. That's my theory is I think they just didn't want to deal with it because it's one more comic that they need to put out. And it makes sense that, then Mattel would go, let's just sidestep this. We already have a relationship with Dark Horse. Let's let them work with us this time.
Yep. And I think you're right because they also got rid of the DC Direct and started streamlining other parts of the DC universe.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I just those actions alone, it feels like they're pushing towards trying to make movies and trying to make the HBO Max and the TV shows in that direction, and they're using the names that they own to make that popular. So having it where they don't own Masters, they don't have it, all they're doing is publishing it for Mattel. It makes sense to me that they go, we're good with this relationship not being here anymore, and you don't see a lot of that nowadays either. I think there was a Fortnite crossover they did recently, and that's about it. Is like, yeah, Dark Horse has done really well with those books that they've put out over the years, the mini comics, the art books, and they've done a great job with the first 2 issues. So I have no worries about them being the publishers, but there is that, Dark Horse, huh? That works. So.
Well, the Dark Horse did do the original mini comics with the classics before
Mm-hmm.
they went back to DC. And the
Yeah.
Max property, as far as comics have gone, they've gone pretty much all over because they started with Marvel, went to
Yep.
started with DC, went to Marvel, went back to
Mm-hmm.
DC. I mean, it's trying to figure out Prince Adam's family tree. Very
It's like
complicated.
it's a tourney pinball, or yeah, ping pong. I mean, not pinball. Well, yeah, it could be that too. Now that I think about it.
Oh,
I look at it this way, and if that panel gives any more of it, I mean, you know, we all that we've had from DC, which is another reason why I'm okay with this. Honestly, is if Dark Horse is going to handle it, I'm completely cool with it being something that doesn't involve Superman or Batman needing to show up in a Masters of the Universe book, because it's happened, it's done. I'm
yeah,
good, and
we did
I
this.
yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like I never looked at those as part of the continuity of anything, because it felt like they had all the Eternia War stuff, which was a whole storyline, and then they went from mini series to mini series, Thundercats and Justice and all. And I was always like, I kind of like to just have a monthly Masters book, and just
Yep.
here's Prince Adam and Cringer, and then all of a sudden there's trouble, and just build a story through that, like something that's more what we were hoping, versus here's Superman showing up again. It's like, I don't need this. I kind of want to be on Eternia for a while.
Mhm. Yeah, Ninja Turtles was going to be next, and
Mm-hmm. Me complaining about Superman, it would have been nice to see that one, only from the perspective of those were two of my favorite toy lines as a kid.
yeah,
And just seeing the artwork that Freddie Williams was putting out there, it's like, man,
Oh,
it was hitting me in all this good nostalgia and stuff. And there is a part of me crossing my fingers, like, if Dark Horse has them, maybe they can work something out, because IDW does the turtle stuff.
yep.
If they got the master's license to do the comp, maybe they can make that work over there. And it's not like a dream, like, oh, I have to have this book before I die. But if it comes out, I would be giggling like with glee, getting it rung up at the comic shop and taking it home, because it's like seeing Leonardo with the dual power sword thing. That just made me giggle, because I'm just like, that's my boy Leo. That's awesome. So yeah.
Well, we end PowerCon with our last panel, a conversation with Bear McCreary.
Bear McQuarrie. I can't hear his name without hearing Bear McQuarrie.
what
So
a
Kevin
great
Smith.
way. Yeah,
Will be streamed.
yeah, what a great way to end the show. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm just a bit worried about how that's going to work with, the limits on how many people can be on the floor. Do I need to kind of get up at 4 a.m. and wait in line on day one so that I can make it into a panel, so that I can get into the show? I don't know. But it will be really fun to connect with a lot of people, like, Super Seven's Brian Flynn, with all the wonderful artists that were behind, the vintage toys, and if Alan Oppenheimer will be there, that would be amazing.
I mean, Mark Taylor's
Yeah.
scheduled to be there, but I guess it's going to depend on his health, because he did have pneumonia earlier in August.
I see.
Alan Oppenheimer.
Wasn't Melendi Britt supposed to be there too this year?
Yeah.
That would be amazing. And but yeah, no, I'm sorry to hear about Mark Taylor. I hope he's okay. And he worked on Ninja Turtles as well, and
Yeah.
I've been kind of really interested in Ninja Turtles lately, so I'd love to chat a little bit about that as well with him.
Did you see the Toys That Made Us about Ninja Turtles at all, David?
No, but thanks for reminding me. I should definitely watch that.
Definitely check that out. He mentioned on there a couple things that made me a couple of good laughs, because they basically said he came in and he's like, I sexied it up. and he was one of his questions, which I thought was hysterical. He's like, "Why is April O'Neil so stupid?"
Oh my.
But the one design thing he did that to this day I'm like, that drove me crazy as a child. He was the one to crouch down Shredder. So Shredder was
Oh, really?
always in that crouch down, and he was like, "I wanted to make it like he did a Mystic Arts move," and I'm just like, I kind of just wanted a Shredder that stood up so I could pose him how I wanted to. But okay, and I was always, and that's why when Super 7 brought him out that way, I was beyond happy because I'm like, he could
Oh,
stand. This is amazing.
yeah.
So, and also,
But
if I remember right, the Four Horsemen, they'll be out there too for the convention.
But yeah, with the Mythic Legions,
Yep.
they worked on the there's the video game that's gonna come
wait,
out.
was successful.
Yeah, the
So
Kickstarter was fully funded how many times over?
Mhm.
what I lost track.
And they've been putting out so many great, toys, so many pre-orders for their Mythic Legions figures, and they've been putting out a lot of the Super 7 figures too, sculpting them.
Mm-hmm.
G.I. Joe, Transformer, Ninja Turtles, Thundercats, and now they're doing like Simpsons and like Ren and Stimpy, all kinds of stuff.
They're doing
Oh,
Disney now too,
Yeah, Disney. Yeah.
and
Power Rangers,
yeah,
Voltron.
and also
but
you also have to give it to Nate Barch because he's helping them with the designs and everything they're doing, and he's Motu royalty to me at this point because he was the packaging designer, and then he also got to work with Netflix to do the Revelations promo stuff
Mm,
and working with the Four Horsemen for all these years. It's like, man, that guy's living the dream as far as I'm concerned. So
he is
kudos
on
to him.
fire. Him
And
and yeah.
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just gonna say Nate Barch and Alex Jimenez and
Yeah.
Simul Soul. Did
Mm-hmm.
you see, by the way, Simul Soul at Grayskull Con, or the European convention?
Mm-hmm.
He revealed this new masterpiece. He does these, they look incredibly vintage. He has such an incredible talent, and he has such he has the pulse of what Masters of the Universe is for so many people, and so he's got this new piece that has the heroes flying towards the villains, and the heroes are on jet sleds, and you know it's just an incredible piece. I would check out Simul Soul's Altier Facebook page.
That's awesome. And another one, real quick, is Eamon. Eamon
yeah.
O'Donoghue is supposed to be out there
Mhm.
for the convention, and he's doing all the packaging art for the Masterverse line.
He's
And
another royalty.
yep, he is.
Sure.
Not just that, he has worked with Mattel on even the 35th anniversary packaging for the She-Ra. It's just amazing artwork.
Hmm.
Yeah, beautiful
And
artwork.
I have about 4 of his pieces. I love them.
And he was also one of the people that did the new Scareglow that was produced for Revelation. The
One
was
that,
it for SDCC?
yes, it was.
Yeah.
That's
Okay. So the one that I'm seeing a ton of photos coming out now of all the people that have gotten them online so far, and yeah, it's a gorgeous piece. He deserves a lot of
and
accolades on that one too.
he's been doing all the package art for Masterverse.
Yep. Yeah, and that's cool. I kind of want them to do prints of those too, because his the back of the card art for He-Man and Skeletor. I really loved the look that he did in the overall rendering, and he's working with oh man, I want to say, is it Eddie Munoz,
Hmm.
who also was working on the show. So it was like a joint effort that they created those pieces. I think it was Eddie was the one that did the like the pencils and some of the like the posing, if I recall right, and then Eamon went in and did the digital painting and rendering for it then too. So
Fantastic work. And that's right, I forgot to mention Axel on the Origins line has been working with Nate Barch, but also with Francisco Etchart.
Yeah, all the artwork is so beautiful. Also, while you're there, give me an idea how heavy the hat staff is, because Factory Entertainment's going to be there with a limited edition power sword, 1,000 power swords in their 1/6 scale were made, and then they did a chrome finish on it.
Yeah, this looks like this like rainbow sword. It's so
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, it is beautiful. I have been blessed. It actually came in yesterday. I have not stopped staring at it. I mean, I put it next to my icon Princess of Power Sword of Protection. And now I feel like, okay, these swords are incorrect scale. Because a female sword is a little bit smaller. And the icon swords, they were all 7 inches. This is a beautiful 8-inch length. If you guys have already seen the ones over at FYI, or you're ordering them directly from Factory Entertainment, you know the quality you're getting. And the only thing that I was a little upset with, knowing that only 1,000 of these swords were produced, they didn't give you a number on the sword so you know what sword number you have.
Oh, I see.
So they will be available at PowerCon, and then whatever they have left over will go up for sale on their website. They had a limited time window to do a pre-order for those who could not get out to the convention. I mean, it's $40, but I think it's well worth it.
Well, sure.
And I'm sure at PowerCon they're going to have their 1-to-1 scale Havoc staff and Power Sword. Because both of them are supposed to be shipping out in November.
I want to take one outside and see if it works. If I saw it at PowerCon, I'd run out and be, I'm not stealing it. I'm just borrowing it. And just trying it out. That'll be my last PowerCon, I'm sure. But yeah, worth it.
But I was surprised. Four Horsemen haven't announced if they're bringing a convention exclusive this year, probably because of their Kickstarter program and not knowing whether or not they'd have the toys in hand with the shipment.
Right.
Well, they did, yeah, they did have the Mossman and Stinkor tributes that they've solicited, but I don't know if they'll be available there or not. So those are like the homage figures we're having this year. So
they probably weren't sure, because everything is still up in the air with all the different conventions, what's going on.
yeah.
I mean, I do have my New York Comic Con badges already, but just sent out that you do have to show proof of the vaccination and have your actual card in order just to get in. So I think they're going to be the first big convention to actually start up after the COVID. because they're actually next month.
Oh, I see. Well, it's just surprising, and I'm just amazed that PowerCon's able to have a live event this year. Since last year, it was all virtual. It was all online.
Well, I've seen smaller cons starting up slowly,
Mm-hmm.
and Val Staples and the team, I think, decided to keep the numbers low, almost as if it was a year one or year two con again.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully it won't become a super spreader. Otherwise, we could blame Hordak.
The
That
techno
or
virus.
Well,
the
I've got my I've got my booster shot, and I'll be wearing a mask like everybody else. So
yeah, I get my booster shot later on this month. But on top of all that PowerCon news, we didn't really get into Netflix little teaser this week, guys. What did you think about the new He-Man show, the CGI, where we got to see Adam transform for the first time? We got to meet his friends, and we also got the new theme song.
yeah,
Remember it?
I wasn't really all that interested in it until I saw those trailers, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. As long as we don't get a lot of drama like we did with the Revelation series, which is a phenomenal series. I just personally can't stand all the horrible drama surrounding it. If this means we can have a new show that's lighter on the drama, hey, I'm all for it. Can't wait for it. And the CGI looks really
Nice
modern.
and
Yeah, nice and smooth, nice and modern. The music, the production of the show seems very professional, very modern, very crisp, and yeah, I can't wait. Looking forward to it, actually.
For me, this is what I needed after all of the drama with Revelation. And again, I'm not blaming the show. Revelation is a great show. If you give it a chance and you really sit through those 5 episodes, there you go. And love it or hate it, at least you watched it and you can form your own opinion versus the clickbait garbage that was going on. In the case of this one, in the case of the new one, though, I'm sitting there and grinning from ear to ear with every single thing they've done, and for me, a huge amount of it is this does feel like Revelation is its own continuity, even though they said it was supposed to be, the next episode after. It still's drawing from its own stuff. It's not Filmation and just Filmation the whole time. And this one, for me, it's like I don't know what they're gonna do. And it's not offensive to me that I don't know what they're going to do. It actually makes me go, I got to watch it. I got to see what they're going to do with this now, because everything I know it's sort of there, but they're just turning it just a little bit to the way where I'm going, well, where are they going to go with this? And it's got that She-Ra Princesses of Power vibe, but in a way where I'm not looking at it going, I'm just going to have to watch this because I have to watch it. This is I want to watch this because
Mm-hmm.
there are questions like we're getting everybody had the big complaint about Andra and all this other stuff. Well, this time we're getting Ram Mam. It's like, to me that's fun. I don't care if any like it's it doesn't bother me because if you really dig into the roster of Masters, that there isn't a huge amount of women that you can pull in as that kind of a character right now. I mean, Andra's there, and I thought Andra was going to be, I guess, who Tila is. But having Ram Mam, that makes me happy and it smile. It doesn't offend me in any way, shape, or form. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it got me curious. Okay, what's going on? Okay, it doesn't look like we have a real cast. So yeah, we have someone master of sorcery or magic. So maybe the one girl is going to be the sorceress of the whole show, who's allowed out of her castle on adventures.
Which that
And
would be cool too. So
and then Cringer doesn't seem to be that complete scaredy cat.
yeah,
So like, wait, that's not the Cringer I know. What happened?
see
It
the
doesn't
thing is,
don't live to his name. Or not. He might not even be Cringer in this series.
yes, I don't know. I don't remember if I saw on the cast list that they called him Cringer. I remember it was Battle Cat on the cast list, but uh, the
And
thing
and I
go
remember them saying that he's the master of the beasts.
well. He's Master of the Wild. He said. All right, I
Uh-huh.
remember that. So it's they have Master of Magic, which I guess is Tila slash Sorceress, Master of Demolition, Master of Technology, Master of the Wild. Which makes me go, well, then is He-Man just master of power, or what's his mastery going to be? But
Teaser when they're like, I love how they called him He-Man. He's a man?
well, yeah, and that was Ram Mam. She did the. You turned into some kind of He-Man. It's like I like that. That's like in Superman so many times. It's like Lois Lane is usually the person that names Superman. He didn't come up with that name for himself. It's somebody else giving it to him, and I kind of dig. Maybe that's why he's called He-Man. Is that's they're like between the group. They're like, well, he's the He-Man, and it works, it because there is that. Will that work or not with newer kids, newer generation? Like that is a term that some kids might find kind of silly, maybe. But when you put it in that perspective, it's like, it kind of works. It's like when you're hanging out with your friends, you give them a nickname.
Well, and definitely they threw out the secret identity also.
Yeah, they did, and I like. There's a bunch of stuff about this I like more than I was expecting to, and it's a lot of it. A lot of it is just for the fact, you know, today, 38 years filmation, but that doesn't mean that's the only version ever. And that's the thing that it's like me as a Masters fan, it drives me crazy. Like the mini comics brought us a different version. The
Yep.
2000X brought us a different take on it, even though it was keeping to the core of the filmation idea, but it did its own thing with it. And then we had Eternity War bringing something new. New Adventures brought something new. And now we have a chance to do something where nobody can really say what is going to happen other than the showrunners. And
Yeah.
that's special to me at 40, a 40 something man who still enjoys this. And I'm going, like, my kids are watching the trailers and the clips with me. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you is going to happen. And you know what? I'm actually excited just as much as you are for this, for that reason.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good way of putting it. I like it.
But
So
I do like the theme song. I actually was like that it's kind of catchy. Like I listened to it a couple times, and I'm like the rest of the day I kind of heard bits and pieces in my head, so that was kind of fun. And even like I still one of my favorite moments out of the clips is Adam, I think it's Teela. She does the whole, you're holding the sword. Why didn't you tell me I had a sword? And he pulls it out, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden he's
that
like, he looks at it, and then the scrolling effect happens down the sword, and he by the power of Grayskull, I have the power. And then all of a sudden, boom. And I'm like, that bugged
Yeah.
me for years. That bugged me so much for years because I thought if we did a Filmation origin, would it be Sorceress telling him what it is that he needs to say to become He-Man? 2000X, they didn't even do it there. It was he just grabbed the sword and out of nowhere he just says the words. I like that is done here for once. It made me really, really get happy about that because I'm like, it's one of the most iconic phrases in pop culture over the last almost 40 years. But it would be kind of nice to say this is how he knows how to say it, and it's
Yeah.
simple. But it does. There's these little bits and pieces of the origin still that I'm like, I would just like to have a nod at how this is what it is or whatever.
Oh, it reminds me of how they did it with She-Ra, where Sorceress tells
Exactly.
Dora, like, for the for the honor of Grayskull, and she says, for the honor of Grayskull? For the honor of Grayskull, and wow. Yeah.
Yep.
That
And
was
I was a blubbering idiot, misty-eyed through that whole moment because that moment still is one of the most effective moments Filmation did, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't believe I'm actually this excited for this cartoon, but a lot of it's a step. It's like the nicest sidestep I've ever seen done for something because yes, Revelation, I'm looking forward to the next 5 episodes, but this is something where I'm like, I don't care if people hate this because it's so different that they aren't going to want that. You know, like they can do their own thing over here, but I can be over here and have fun with it finally without having all that negativity in the back of my mind while I'm trying to enjoy it.
Yeah. I'm actually looking forward to it, especially with that same scene, the origin of Adam getting the sword for the first time.
Yes, exactly.
Well, and I'm hopeful as well that because there's bound to be some level of drama for this new Netflix title, even though there really shouldn't because it's a show for kids, but I'm hopeful that with the release of the next 5 episodes of Revelation, then hopefully there will be some more positivity surrounding that as well.
Agreed.
Well,
go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, on your way down to California, don't forget to stop at the comic book store because we have some reading material also coming out this week. And the story's focusing on Evil Lynn.
I'm picturing Arlie Army in or Ermy or however you said his name, like the drill instructor from drill sergeant from Full Metal Jacket. You had enough, He-Man? No, you haven't. You better read that. It's just getting in your face, like, yes, sir, I have to read it, sir. You know, like that's kind of how it's feeling. Like I said, it's to quote David, this is how it feels to be mainstream again. I mean, the amount of stuff is like 1-2 punch every week lately.
Oh, this is like the most wonderful feeling. Almost as good as Toys R Us reopening.
Yeah, that was a shocker too.
Well, it's sort of reopening in Macy's.
Well, there's a Macy's close to me, so I'm crossing my fingers on that one.
I have a feeling it's Macy's way of trying to save the stores because I've seen a lot of them closing quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that. Yeah. Well, and you look at a store like Macy's or like Kohl's, and they'll have a separate section for random merchandise, and they'll have a tiny little section for toys, and I think it's a really good fit.
Yeah.
Kind of like how with Kohl's, what they're doing is you would have an Amazon return, and you would actually have to take it to a Kohl's clothing store to drop it off. That was an option anyway. And then that would entice people to shop at the store while they're dropping off their Amazon return.
That's what happened to me earlier this year. I didn't
Oh.
realize that. Shows how often I do that. But yeah, I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. You can go here now.
Well,
Well,
and
I think they better make sure that their toys are well stocked since they're using the Toys R Us thing. Because all of us who are sick and tired of Walmart are going to be running there the minute they open.
Hmm. Good old
oh yeah.
Walmart.
Well, and I've had to focus on some other things lately, and so I honestly have had no time to go toy hunting at any stores, and so I've really felt that pinch of, well, I have no time to go check Walmart every day and Target, and so I might have to get a couple of things on eBay. Specifically, I was wanting the 2020, the new uh, repro vintage Ninja Turtle figures with the squishy heads and the party wagon, and just couldn't do it. I visited a few times, but like everyone else, I'm sick of seeing just those empty shelves. And here, one of my relatives actually this past weekend drove up to Canada, and they found a Toys R Us in a mall up there, and they sent me these pictures of a huge display of Masters of the Universe figures. I was so jealous of the a lot of Origins figures, a lot of the Eternia minis and whatnot, and yeah, it just boggles my mind why it would look like that up there and there wouldn't be anything up here. And I'm sure that that's the same kind of question that everybody has from any other region of the country or in any other country, like a guy in Australia was just talking on the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe fans group about how jealous he was of every other country because they get like nothing there, you know. So it's kind of like goes back to like first world problems, and it's rough, but it could always be worse. We could always be in Australia, with no option to get the toys, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's true. I know on my most recent toy hunt, which really surprised me, I was able to get the full Revelations minis first wave
Hmm.
in
Nice.
one shot.
Great.
I'm like,
That's wonderful.
wait, they were just putting them out. The only thing I have to say with the metallic Whiplash, they forgot to put the metallic on the figure. It's just a flat green.
Right.
I'm like, if this is supposed to be a chase figure, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
But
and
I
with
definitely don't like that. And it could just be me. I don't like that the minis are all carded. I still like looking for the mystery box. Okay, you don't know what you're going to get. It's like that little hidden Christmas present. And being that it was always under $5, I didn't mind.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Loyal Subjects really beat the tar out of that thing though, because I got into those a couple years back, and after a while, I'm like, I'm tired of spending $13 to find out that I got another Man at Arms.
Loyal Subjects is on the high end of the blind bag.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to even see them in the stores because I think of their price point.
well, if for nothing else, to see the attorney minifigures in individual packages like that, it's nice to be able to see to judge the paint quality, because I recall with the Faker figure for attorney minis, I bought three of them, and it turned out that the paint on the hair was messed up on all three of them and in the same spot too. Um, and so like a lot of action figures, I would have liked to have seen the figure through the bubble to judge for myself before purchasing it.
But for me to walk into my Target and see a whole line of Origins, Masterverse, the minis, I'm like, this makes me happy. And the salesperson says, "Oh, we're not done putting out all the stuff yet." It's just the Target that's close to me, they're remodeling. So the toy department is like extremely small. The collector wall is barely 2 feet because of all the remodeling. They're like, don't worry, everything will come back.
Well, nice. Congrats on the score.
Oh, yes. I'd like to thank you for joining us today. Remember to check out our Facebook page for links to all the streaming panels for next weekend with the times. And also, when I will be posting up the review of the PowerCon exclusive Power Sword from Factory Entertainment. And also check us out on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to both our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Till next time, good journey.
And this is David Clark, owner of AdultCollector.org. I encourage everybody to visit the 50,000 member He-Man and the Masters of the Universe fans Facebook group. And yeah, until next time, good journey.
And this is Sean Scavarna. If you want to hear more Masters goodies, tune in on Legends of Grayskull. We talk about the history, the mystery, the magic, and mythology of Masters and She-Ra. And have fun at PowerCon. Those of you who get to go, or those of you staying home like me, have fun virtually having your own PowerCon next weekend. So good journey.